You ever clawed a bug bite till it bleeds? Feels good for a second, but then it burns like hell. That's exactly what you're doing with your mind, with your anxiety and your overthinking. Your I need to fix myself bullshit. Meditation, ice baths, gratitude lists, all just scratching, all just making it worse. Want to know what actually works? Then stick around. So one thing I've been noticing in the last week or so, the last few weeks, is that my mind, my personality, something in me seems intent on creating problems just so I can fix them. So it worries about something and then I think about it and I worry about it and I stress about it and it's like, oh yeah, give it to me. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but it's a real thing. It's like we have some part of us that is just addicted to being, to suffering, to being in pain, to being stressed, to being anxious. Another way to put it is safety is dangerous and danger is safe. If we've grown up in a really chaotic childhood with family or school or whatever it is, and we get used to that, that becomes our baseline. Later in life, like right now, we're trying to relax, but relaxation isn't safe because if we relax, we might get hurt, right? And so this mind of ours, the system of ours has this really interesting thing that it does where it just creates problems, right? So we think we're going to go fix them. We're going to do the breath work and do the gratitude list. And we're going to journal about it. And we think we're getting somewhere when it might actually be that these aspects of us are just creating problems to keep us busy, to keep us distracted, to keep us in our heads. Okay, it's like the bug bite thing, right? So basically, I'm here in Peru. I'm in South America right now, and there's these bugs here. I go do jujitsu and or take San Pedro, do a ceremony, and these bugs will come and get me usually on the feet, sometimes on my back, really wherever they can get to. They don't always hurt at the time, but usually within a few hours or a few days. Sometimes I'll wake up at 2 a.m. and it starts to itch, right? So I start to scratch it, right? Natural. It's itchy. You scratch it, but of course, what does that do? Makes it more itchy. So I scratch it again and it makes it more itchy, and I scratch it again and it makes it more itchy, and I scratch it again and eventually it fucking bleeds. And I can't help but think this is the same thing so many of us, me included, have done with self-help. We see some part of us, part of our experience, our mind, our body, something in us that we do not like, that we're uncomfortable with. Maybe it's how we look. Maybe it's some illness that we have. Maybe it's, a feeling that we have or a thought that we have. This is almost on a subtler level as we get deeper into the healing journey, whatever you want to call it. It gets more and more subtle. And eventually, you start to realize that I'm just reinforcing this sense that I am not good enough, that I'm broken, that something's wrong with me, that something's wrong with my experience. And we don't realize it, but like I said, that attitude, that intention, that agenda that we have for ourselves, that we're going to change ourselves, reinforces the sense that something is wrong. And if something is wrong, we can't relax. So then it creates more problems, more stress, more worry, which then we have to fix, which reinforces the sense that something's wrong, which creates more problems, which reinforces the sense that something's wrong, and we go around and around and around. This is why we can do meditation and journaling and gratitude lists and breath work and affirmations and all the self-help shit that's out there for years, even decades, and still feel like, hey, I don't even know if I feel that different. Like I still feel stuck. Maybe I've changed a little bit, but I feel like I'm not getting to the root of whatever is going on here. And so my idea for you today is that this relentless pursuit of trying to be better, of trying to fix something, trying to find a problem and change it, change yourself, is the very problem. So the question is, how do we get out of that loop? How do we break that cycle? The tricky thing here is that you can take any practice and use it as a tool to make yourself better. So you can take, what I have to recommend is nervous system work, right? You might know it as somatic therapy. Somatic experiencing is one modality in that space, a trademark term. It's not what I specifically teach, but that's just one of the most popular ones in there. Somatic work, nervous system work, feeling your body, embodiment. You can call it different things. That's what I have to recommend, right? But the big but, the but is, big butts don't lie. The big but is that you can use even something that is an incredible tool for healing and change and all of that. You can use that and still get stuck in this loop. I've done it. I continue to do it sometimes. I'm a lot better at not doing it now, but still, it's a very tricky thing. The ego, the mind, it's very sneaky. What I'm saying is, like, let's say a practice from the world of nervous system healing, a practice that I teach at Rageheart is, one of the first things is to look around at your environment to see if it's safe, to feel the ground beneath your feet, to notice your breath without changing it, and to start to weave these things together. So can you see and feel the ground at the same time? Can you feel the ground and notice your breath at the same time? So on and so forth. Beautiful practice. And at deeper levels you get into, okay, well, if I have some tension in my chest, maybe I can feel that because there might be some emotion there. And what can happen is then we start to use these techniques, which are beautiful techniques, but we start to use them as a way to control ourselves, to manage our experience, which is perpetuating the sense that something's wrong. So that's the caveat with it, okay? What I would say is, instead of fixing, learn how to feel. But not feeling to get rid of things. You're not feeling your sadness so you can get rid of the sadness. You're not feeling your anger, your rage, your shame, your fear, your anxiety. You're not hearing the thoughts so you can get rid of them. The art, as I keep learning, is, can you be in those experiences without, just be present, sure. Learn how to feel it without an agenda. You're just there. You're not too focused on it. You're just there. You're hanging out with it. Like you're having a cup of tea or a beer or something like that. You're just hanging out. And so as far as a practice goes, if you want to learn how to do this, like I said, look around at your environment right now, see if it's safe. Hopefully it is. No tigers, no bears, no screaming people, no tsunamis. Taking time to build a map of safety. Can you feel the ground? The chair beneath you? And can you notice your breath without changing your breath? Can you do these things together? Can you look around and feel the ground and notice your breath all at the same time? And can you do it with sort of like an agendaless agenda, right? Or instead of having like a goal for it, of trying to change your feeling or change your state, you're simply there being curious, childlike curiosity, wonder. You're exploring, you're playing. You're not trying to get anywhere with it. There is no goal other than to simply notice these things. That is where the magic is. To gradually, over time, learn how to let go of the agenda, let go of the trying to fix it, trying to change it, and learn how to just feel, right? Feel without an agenda. That, to me, is the solution to this. And of course, I guess you could say the higher level goal is you're still trying to fix something. You're still trying to heal or trying to be healthier and happier. Otherwise, why even bother with this in the first place? So there is that. But in the maybe at the higher level or the bigger perspective is, yes, you are totally trying to be better. And that's great. That's fantastic, right? There's hope in that. There's beauty in that. There's excitement in that. Great, cool. But when it comes down to actually feeling, let all that go. Just let it all go. Almost forget about it. Forget that there is even a goal. The only goal is to simply be with the feeling or with the thought. This takes practice. I'm still learning how to do this. But this is something that's been on my mind, ironically, quite a lot lately, as I notice my mind is creating these problems or worrying about something because it knows that I'm going to get pulled into that. I'm going to start to worry about that. It's a very interesting thing when you start to notice your own mind, your own system is creating problems just so you can fix the problems. Because if there was nothing left to fix, if everything was okay, that part of you, that ego, the personality structure, there'd be nothing left for it to do. There'd be no reason for its existence. And so I think in my experience, it seems to be quite scared of that. So it will create all kinds of problems for you, for me, for all of us, until we learn to disengage. Okay, so anyway, that's this week's video on why fixing yourself isn't really fixing anything. It's actually just perpetuating the issue. If you want a guided exercise on this, so I've just given a very quick overview of this technique and this practice. I will drop a link in the description, or I'll put the video here or here for you. You can click that. It's a guided version of the practice I just gave you. Play with that. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. I am here to help.